Hellmann's mayonnaise has just made its book talk debut with a garlic-scented copy of Jennifer L. Armentrout's The Primal of Blood and Bone. Now, this book features garlic aioli-infused ink, I'm not joking, meant to ward off vampire-like creatures. Take a look at this.
Everyone knows that garlic is the only way to prevent a craven attack. So Hellmann's and I have made a garlic-scented book. Yes. Really.
Yes, really. So to talk more about this and learn about how effective this kind of a campaign might be, I'm joined now by Morgan Wescott here in studio. She's Associate Dean of Marketing Management at BCIT. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
We love to talk to you about these kinds of, marketing. I was going to call it a gimmick, but I suppose it is. But look at us. Here we are on television talking about garlic-infused books that are being sold. So why does this kind of thing, how successful and how viral might this go?
Well, you've really touched on something. It's successful enough that we're talking about it now. Yeah. I noticed that you went out and bought the product, so you know what we're referencing. And, the fundamentals of marketing are not just around selling more mayonnaise or selling more books. It's also about getting attention. And I think that that's why this type of initiative is successful, is because it's getting a lot of attention.
So look at this. So if you're a fan of this book and you order this, it's coming in a large coffin, and it's coming with this special mayonnaise. And then, you saw the author there. So I did go and buy this, and you have to smell this.
Okay.
So if you open a book, are you reading? I'm making a mess here. Are you reading a book and that's smelling like this, or is this a product that people are going to read, or is it going to just sit on the shelf? Or
I feel like it's a collector's item. I was looking on some of the Instagram posts, and people were saying, I'm going to make room on my bookshelf. So again, this is not about volume of copies sold. It's definitely going to drive some sales of mayonnaise. And I think what's happening behind the scenes is almost as interesting as this really cool packaging that's limited edition, in terms of these are paid partnerships, right? These are book club, book talkers. They also have a special website. So you can go on this special Hellmann's website, and there are recipes for your book club, and they've all been rebranded with characters from the story.
So I don't know this story, but I find it really interesting that Hellmann's mayonnaise would go to Book Talk, which Book Talk is just TikTok, but I guess it's featuring, authors and people talking about various books, and immediately or somehow come to the idea that this is a natural collaboration. Does this I've heard of collaborations, but this one surprises me.
Okay, so it is surprising. I have to say this is a perfect case study for a group of marketing students, almost to try and imagine, how did someone come up with this idea? How did they get both teams to sign off and really work together? But it works, and it's working, and it's timed for Halloween, so they're hitting all of the notes here. And I think other collaborations that have been surprising, Balenciaga and Crocs. Never would have expected that, and yet that is a collaboration that we've seen in the last 12 months. So coming up with out-of-the-box ideas like this is definitely going to drive that, attention, and then eventually, that interest and that desire and that action, which is, since 1898, that's really been the funnel that we've trying to achieve as marketers. It's just a new, cool, fun way of doing it.
It's definitely, I didn't know about the Crocs and Balenciaga. That is an unlikely combo. The other thing, and you point this out, is what you're selling here is probably a collector's item.
Yeah.
And we're seeing this, I'm seeing more and more of this, and sort of surprised at how popular these collector's items are. Think Taylor Swift and the number of different versions of her latest album that she put out, and fans seem to be clamoring to be able to say, I've got that one and this one. And how do you explain people's desire to have that particular, special item like a coffin?
Yeah, I think what they're really tapping into here is a fan base, right? So the fan base for this particular book, or the fan base for Taylor Swift, or in my case, you would appeal to me with Elton John collectible albums. So it's really doing that research on a target audience. I think this is the biggest win for Hellmann's, because now they're tapping into a fan base for this book, and they're raising the profile of their brand and of their products. So just like other collaborations, I would expect to see mayo sales, and in particular Hellmann's mayo sales, to go up. So they are going to drive that action as well, not just on the collector's edition pieces, but on units of mayonnaise.
Okay, and fair enough, you got me, but I was very curious. I had to know what this book was going to smell like, and so I went to the grocery store. Morgan, thank you very much for coming to the studio.
Thanks.
And so, Associate Dean of Marketing Management at BCIT, Morgan Wescott.